I have always had a passion for working with kids. Even whenever I was younger, I was involved with my youth group, and so I've always had a passion for helping students, especially students from low-income households, and so that's why my heart's here. Low-income and Title I campuses are very important to me because that was I came from a broken family, and I didn't see teachers who looked like me growing up. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do, is I wanted to be an example. That's another one of my passions, is just being a role model for students who don't necessarily see people of color in professions. I've had Engaged to Learn coaching now for a year and a half. I've learned so many things through coaching in this year and a half, and honestly, I've learned more in my 8th year of teaching than I have in all of the years combined. To have a coach understand what's going on in the classroom and help me set goals for my students, that has really helped. Not only did Taylor understand what was going on in the classroom, she was an educator herself, and so we really pushed the limits on what is expected out of students. I earned a differentiation badge this year, which I'm very proud of, and I've worked really hard to make sure that my students have shown growth throughout this year. What's so exciting is through my learning, my students are also showing growth in all areas, and I can see that with their MAP data, and I can see it with their BAS test scores. There are so many things that I've learned through Engaged to Learn as far as rubrics, aligning my standards, differentiation, the list goes on and on. We've just worked on so many things that individually I couldn't have done myself, but with the help of Engaged to Learn, I've been able to put those things into practice and see the benefits that my students have had. It wasn't something that was extra on my plate, it was something that was going to be beneficial to my students, and that's totally fine with me. I want to learn and I want to grow, and that's part of our profession, is learning and growing to help our students. Ensuring that our e2L coaches are out there and supporting them is definitely guiding not only the district but our department in the right direction.
It feels amazing for the district to recognize where we are, in real life. There has been a huge learning loss that has occurred with the pandemic and students being virtual, or some students haven't been in school since we were quarantined for the pandemic. And so to have a district that supports, I feel like that is profound. I feel like it's monumental.
This is honestly probably the hardest year of teaching ever. That's because of all the expectations, but that's a good thing because they offer support. They don't just say, we expect this from you. They have people come out to support us. So it really means a lot. Like I said, I can see the growth in my students. I'm growing from it. So it's hard, but it's worth it.
Being a teacher is not easy at all. We already are kind of at a disadvantage, and then you add COVID into the mix, and they were online learning for a year and a half, and they noticed that. They take that into account. It helps us make our jobs just that much easier whenever we know, like, okay, they understand what we're going through. They see that we're in here trying. We're in the work.
From the get-go, we have designed an implementation to help teachers improve their craft. We're targeting all teachers to get them to a place where they can be even better for their students.
The way I feel about my job has changed. I enjoy coming to work every day. I see the results right away.
This is a way to really bring it, localize it, and say, like, teacher, what do you want to work on this year? And I'm here to help you and support you in that. So I think we've seen just in our research and in the data that one-time professional development that's like come in and do the session, it doesn't really translate into classroom practices. But through the rubrics, through coaching, through feedback, we really can see the district's vision for learning realized in every classroom.
Forward into the new school year, everyone just wanted to rush back to the normalcy, but knowing that we needed more than just the start of school, didn't want to do things the way they've always been done, and looking for creative ways to do things. That meant that we had to change the culture. What you did 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago may or may not work, and so we have to continuously learn and grow.
Our philosophy is if we strengthen the teacher and the teaching practices in the classroom, then now you can scale the success.
That environment begins to shift, because I do believe no matter what address a kid comes from, they will rise to the occasion, but you have to set the expectations, right?
Lancaster is a learning organization. That's really what we focus on. If we continue to learn as an organization, we'll continue to evolve.
We are able to take what we have that is working and not put it aside. Bring in what's new, take the pieces that we need from what's new that is working, add to it. So we continue to build. It becomes a continual cycle that we just improve upon.
The partnership for my district has been very beneficial to our leaders in that as we continue to work towards our strategic planning, as we continue to work towards a common language and common goals, e2L Learning puts all those things together and allows us to move forward as a unit in a collaborative and collective way.
Quality teachers equals student achievement. I've always, been a believer in that. So I think if we improve the quality of our teachers and their instruction, then that's going to increase student achievement.
Initially, you may have seen teachers who were facing challenges. Now they're very reflective and intentional in what they're doing.
It's very goal related, so it's one step at a time working towards something. First, when you hear about the EGO program and what it entails, it's kind of intimidating because your original thought is there's more that we have to do. But then once you kind of walk through it, it's one of those things that, again, every teacher on our campus that did it was excited about it because there's an area where the teacher wanted to improve, and the EGO program will walk you through how to get better and what teacher doesn't want to be their best.
After one session, I've already started implementing for my district to, care enough about me and my job to help us out in the classroom and to help our kids. It really does mean the world, actually.
They're really using those things in their classroom and they're seeing the benefit from it.
We put things into place and we don't get to see it. And we also don't get to celebrate it. And so what the platform helps us to do is to see our progress and to celebrate that.
That process is always encouraging to the teachers. It's encouraging to me when I can celebrate, okay, yeah, I did do this, right? Like I actually did it.
A lot of times people just want to be seen, and this helps us to see our teachers, it helps us to see our administrators from afar so that when we do actually see them in person, we can recognize them again.
I look for that shift to be where we're having training that is built in and then training that sustains growth and upward mobility throughout the district.
We're hoping that our students can take that with them well beyond their time here in the classroom in Lancaster.
It has to be more than just about a diploma. It really does have to be about growing individuals and people and good citizens so that they can contribute. And I always like to say, what's good for the community is good for the locality, it's good for the state, and ultimately, it's good for this great nation.
We're building a learning ecosystem to give our teachers what they need to teach students to be continuous, lifelong learners.